As a urologist, I get this question constantly. Here's the brief evidence-based truth. When it comes to men's health, there are a lot of myths, taboos, and misunderstandings, especially around the topic of ejaculation. Many men wonder, is it safe to ejaculate every day? Could it be harmful, or might it actually be beneficial? Let's dive into the science and surprising facts behind daily ejaculation and why it might be a lot healthier than you think. By understanding the real effects of this natural process, you can make more informed decisions about your own health and well-being. First, let's address the most common concern. Is daily ejaculation dangerous? According to a growing body of research, for most healthy men, ejaculating every day is not only safe, but it may actually offer some significant health benefits. In fact, a landmark study published in the journal European Urology followed nearly 32,000 men over 18 years. The researchers found that men who ejaculated at least 21 times per month had a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who ejaculated only 4 to 7 times per month. This finding has been echoed by several other studies, suggesting that frequent ejaculation could play a protective role when it comes to prostate health. These results have sparked new conversations among doctors and patients about the importance of regular sexual activity as part of a healthy lifestyle. But why would this be the case? Scientists believe that regular ejaculation helps to flush out the prostate gland, removing potentially harmful substances and reducing the buildup of carcinogenic agents. Think of it like running clean water through a pipe to prevent blockages and keep everything functioning smoothly. By regularly clearing out the system, you may be lowering your risk of inflammation and disease. This process is thought to help maintain the overall health of the reproductive system, keeping it in optimal condition as you age. Beyond cancer prevention, daily ejaculation may offer other surprising benefits. For example, some studies suggest that frequent ejaculation can improve sperm quality and motility, which is important for men who are trying to conceive. Regular sexual activity has also been linked to better cardiovascular health, possibly due to the release of hormones like oxytocin and endorphins, which help lower stress and improve mood. In fact, sexual activity, including masturbation, can be a natural way to relieve anxiety, promote relaxation, and even help you sleep better at night. These benefits can add up over time, contributing to a healthier, more balanced lifestyle. The mental health benefits shouldn't be overlooked either. Ejaculation triggers the release of feel-good chemicals in the brain, such as dopamine and serotonin. These neurotransmitters are known to boost mood, reduce feelings of depression, and create a sense of well-being. For many men, regular ejaculation can be a healthy part of self-care, helping to manage stress and maintain emotional balance. It can also foster a more positive relationship with your own body and sexuality, which is an important aspect of overall mental health. Of course, it's important to remember that everyone's body is different. What's normal for one person might not be for another. Some men may feel perfectly fine ejaculating daily, while others might prefer less frequent activity. The key is to listen to your body and do what feels right for you. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and there's no need to force yourself into a routine that doesn't suit your lifestyle or preferences. Your comfort and personal health should always come first, and it's perfectly okay to adjust your habits as your needs change over time. If you have concerns about your sexual health, or if you notice any changes, such as pain, discomfort, or changes in ejaculation, it's always a good idea to talk to a healthcare professional. They can help you understand what's normal, address any underlying issues, and provide guidance tailored to your individual needs. Remember, sexual health is an important part of overall well-being, and there's no shame in seeking advice or support. Open conversations with your doctor can lead to better health outcomes and greater peace of mind. In summary, daily ejaculation is not harmful for most men. In fact, It may offer a range of health benefits, from reducing the risk of prostate cancer to improving mood and sleep. As with any aspect of health, balance and self-awareness are key. By staying informed and listening to your body, you can make choices that support your physical and mental well-being. Embracing open, honest discussions about sexual health can empower you to take charge of your wellness and enjoy a healthier, happier life. It does not weaken you, ruin fertility, or lower testosterone. Nutrient loss is negligible with a normal diet. For sperm health, it can actually reduce DNA damage. When we talk about potential downsides, it's important to recognize that for most people, the risks are not physical, but psychological. This means that the main concerns aren't about your body being harmed, but rather about how your mind and emotions are affected. Sometimes people worry that certain behaviors or habits might be dangerous, but in reality, the only real issues that tend to arise are related to our mental and emotional well-being. It's not about something physically damaging happening to you, but about how your thoughts, feelings, and actions might be influenced in ways that aren't helpful or healthy. In other words, the real impact is often invisible, showing up in the way you think, feel, and interact with the world around you, rather than in any obvious physical symptoms. Let's break this down a bit more. Psychological downsides can take many forms. For some, it might mean feeling anxious, guilty, or ashamed about a particular habit. For others, it could involve becoming preoccupied with something to the point where it's hard to focus on anything else. You might notice that you're thinking about it all the time, or that you feel upset if you can't engage in the behavior. These are signs that your relationship with the habit is becoming less healthy and more problematic. Sometimes these feelings can sneak up on you, gradually becoming stronger until they start to affect your mood and your ability to enjoy other parts of your life. It's also important to remember that everyone's mind works a little differently. What might be a minor distraction for one person could become a major source of stress for someone else. That's why it's so important to pay attention to how you're feeling and to be honest with yourself about whether something is starting to have a negative impact on your life. If you notice that you're feeling more anxious, sad, or irritable than usual, or if you're having trouble sleeping or concentrating, it might be worth taking a closer look at what's going on. Sometimes these changes are subtle at first, but over time they can build up and start to affect your overall sense of well-being. Being mindful of your own mental state is a key part of taking care of yourself. One of the clearest signs that a behavior is becoming a problem is when it starts to interfere with your daily life and your relationships. Maybe you find yourself zoning out when your partner is talking to you, or you're so distracted by your thoughts or urges that you can't really be present with your friends or family. You might notice that arguments are happening more often, or that your loved ones are feeling neglected or hurt because you're not as engaged as you used to be. Over time, these patterns can create distance between you and the people you care about, making it harder to maintain close, supportive relationships. Sometimes, people don't even realize how much a habit is affecting their relationships until someone else points it out. Maybe your partner says they feel like you're not really listening, or your friends mention that you're always on your phone or computer instead of hanging out with them. These are important signals to pay attention to, because our connections with others are a huge part of what makes life meaningful and fulfilling. When a behavior starts to get in the way of those connections, it's a sign that things might be getting out of balance. It's worth remembering that relationships thrive on attention and presence, and when those are missing, everyone involved can feel the effects. It's not just about romantic relationships either. This kind of interference can show up in your relationships with family members, co-workers, or even casual acquaintances. Maybe you're missing out on important conversations, or you're not able to be as supportive or attentive as you'd like to be. Over time, this can lead to feelings of isolation, loneliness, or frustration for both you and the people around you. The ripple effects can be surprising, sometimes leading to misunderstandings, or a sense of being disconnected from your community or support network. Another major area where problems can arise is with your responsibilities. This could mean your job, your schoolwork, your household chores, or any of the other tasks that are part of your daily routine. If you find that you're putting off important work, missing deadlines, or letting things slide because you're preoccupied with a particular habit, that's a red flag. Maybe you're staying up late and feeling too tired to function the next day, or you're skipping meals, exercise, or other healthy routines because you're caught up in something else. These disruptions can start small, but if left unchecked, they can snowball into bigger challenges that affect your ability to function day to day. It's easy to tell yourself that you'll catch up later, or that it's not a big deal to let things slide once in a while. But over time, these small lapses can add up and start to have a bigger impact on your life. You might notice that your performance at work or school is slipping, or that your home is becoming messier and harder to manage. You might even start to feel overwhelmed or stressed out by all the things you're not getting done. This can create a cycle where you turn to the habit even more as a way to cope with those feelings, which only makes the problem worse. Recognizing this cycle early can help you break free before it becomes even more difficult to manage. It's also worth noting that neglecting responsibilities doesn't just affect you, it can also have consequences for the people around you. Maybe your family is counting on you to help with dinner, or your coworkers are relying on you to finish a project. When you're not able to follow through, it can create tension, disappointment, or even resentment. That's why it's so important to be honest with yourself about whether a habit is starting to get in the way of the things that matter most. Taking responsibility for your actions and their impact on others is a crucial step toward making positive changes. So, when does a habit or behavior cross the line from being just a harmless pastime to something that's actually a problem? The answer is when it starts to have a negative impact on your mental health, your relationships, or your ability to meet your responsibilities. If you're noticing that you're feeling more stressed, anxious, or unhappy than usual, or if the people around you are expressing concern, it's a good idea to take a step back and think about what's going on. Sometimes the shift from harmless to harmful is gradual, so it's important to check in with yourself regularly and notice any changes in your mood, motivation, or daily functioning. Sometimes it can be hard to recognize these patterns on your own. That's why it can be helpful to talk to someone you trust, a friend, a family member, or a mental health professional, about what you're experiencing. They can offer support, perspective, and guidance as you figure out what changes might be helpful. Remember, it's not about blaming yourself or feeling ashamed. Everyone struggles with something at some point, and reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. In fact, opening up to others can be the first step toward finding solutions and feeling better about your situation. If you're worried that a habit is becoming a problem, there are steps you can take to regain control. Start by being honest with yourself about how you're feeling and what's going on in your life. Pay attention to the warning signs, like feeling disconnected from others, neglecting your responsibilities, or experiencing negative emotions that don't seem to go away. Then, consider making small changes to your routine, setting boundaries, or seeking support from others. With time, patience, and the right resources, it's possible to find a healthier balance and get back to feeling like yourself again. Remember, progress doesn't always happen overnight, but every step you take toward positive change is meaningful. Ultimately, the most important thing to remember is that you're not alone. Many people struggle with habits or behaviors that become problematic, and there's no shame in asking for help. By paying attention to your mental and emotional well-being, staying connected with the people who care about you, and taking steps to address any issues that arise, you can protect your health and happiness and build a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. Taking care of yourself is an ongoing process, and reaching out for support when you need it is one of the best things you can do for your long-term well-being. The verdict? After exploring the science, the myths, and the real-life experiences of countless individuals, it's time to distill everything down to what truly matters. When it comes to this topic, there's often a lot of confusion, misinformation, and even shame. But let's set the record straight, once and for all, with the facts and expert insights we've gathered. It's important to approach this subject with openness and curiosity, rather than fear or embarrassment, so we can truly understand what's at stake and make informed choices for ourselves. Biologically, it's typically just fine. In fact, most medical professionals agree that this is a normal, healthy part of human life. There's no scientific evidence to suggest that it causes harm to your body or your mind when practiced in moderation. For decades, researchers have studied its effects, and the overwhelming consensus is that it's a natural behavior that almost everyone engages in at some point. It's something that transcends age, background, and culture, and is recognized by experts as a routine aspect of human development and well-being, and may even offer some benefits. Studies have shown that it can help reduce stress, improve sleep, and even boost your mood. Some research suggests it may support immune function and help you feel more relaxed and comfortable in your own skin. For many people, it's a way to explore their own bodies, understand their preferences, and develop a healthier relationship with themselves. It can also be a safe outlet for sexual expression, especially for those who are not in a relationship or who want to avoid the risks associated with other forms of sexual activity. In addition, it can foster a sense of autonomy and self-awareness, helping individuals feel more in tune with their own needs and emotions. The most important thing is having a healthy mindset, and that means letting go of guilt, shame, or anxiety that might be attached to this subject. Cultural and religious beliefs can sometimes make people feel uncomfortable or even fearful about their own bodies, but it's crucial to remember that your health and well-being come first. If you ever feel conflicted or worried, talking to a trusted healthcare provider or counselor can help you sort through your feelings and find peace of mind. Mental health experts emphasize that self-acceptance and self-compassion are key to overall wellness. Embracing a positive attitude toward your own body and experiences can make a significant difference in your quality of life. Not worrying about how often you do it. There's no normal frequency that applies to everyone. Some people might do it daily, others weekly, and some not at all, and all of these are perfectly okay. What matters most is that you feel comfortable with your own habits, and that they don't interfere with your daily life, relationships, or responsibilities. If you ever notice that it's becoming a source of distress, or is impacting your ability to function, that's a good time to reach out for support. But for the vast majority of people, it's simply a part of life, one that doesn't need to be a source of stress or concern. Allowing yourself the freedom to follow your own rhythm without judgment is a key part of maintaining balance and peace of mind. Remember, everyone's journey is unique. What's right for one person may not be right for another, and that's perfectly normal. The key is to listen to your own body, respect your own boundaries, and make choices that support your physical and emotional health. If you ever have questions or concerns, don't hesitate to seek out reliable information or talk to a healthcare professional. There's no need to compare yourself to others or feel pressured by what you see or hear in the media. Your well-being is what truly matters. Prioritizing your own comfort and happiness, rather than external expectations, is the foundation of a healthy approach. In summary, the bottom line is this: there's nothing inherently wrong or unhealthy about this aspect of your life. In fact, it can be a positive, beneficial, and completely normal part of being human. The most important thing is to approach it with a healthy mindset, free from unnecessary worry or guilt. Take care of yourself. Be kind to your body. And remember that your health, both physical and mental, is what really matters in the end. Ultimately, embracing self-care and understanding is the best way to ensure a fulfilling and balanced life. If you found this helpful, go ahead and share it with a friend. For clear, doctor-backed facts, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more.